The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. John. Jesus said to his disciples, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. He takes away every branch in me that does not bear fruit, and every one that does he prunes so that it bears more fruit. You are already pruned because of the word that I spoke to you. Remain in me as I remain in you. Just as a branch cannot bear fruit on its own unless it remains on the vine, so neither can you unless you remain in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever remains in me and I in him will bear much fruit, because without me you can do nothing. Anyone who does not remain in me will be thrown out like a branch and wither. People will gather them and throw them into a fire, and they will be burned. If you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask for whatever you want, and it will be done for you. By this is my Father glorified, that you bear much fruit and become my disciples." The Gospel of the Lord. The image Jesus uses in today's Gospel of the vine and the branches is pretty familiar to us. It is an image that he uses to show us our relationship to him and his relationship to us. And he says that we can't do anything without him. Now, he doesn't tell us that to make us feel belittled or powerless or ashamed in any way. And that's why I think he uses the image of a vine as opposed to, say, an olive tree or something else that would have been familiar in the part of the world that he lived in at that time. The vine that he is talking about, of course, would be a grapevine, because wine was a staple of the economy, part of their everyday meal, as well as used in their religious rituals. So the grapevine would have been a very familiar image to people hearing him at that time. Now, when I was a little kid, my grandmother had a grape arbor in her backyard. Great big, at least at the time, looked like it was a great big thing that went over, arched over her sidewalk in the backyard. And she grew Concord grapes, from which she would make homemade grape jelly. So I remember in my mind seeing that grapevine. And the thing about a grapevine is that the vine is just everywhere. That thing was all over that white picket arbor, all over it. And the grapes, of course, grew right close, right out of, it seemed, the vine. There were little branches, and the grape clusters would form. But wherever the grapes were, the vine was not far away. Like on a tomato plant, for instance, everybody plants tomatoes. There's the stem or the stalk of the plant, and the fruit comes out of the branches on the sides and is not immediately adjacent to the stalk. Or if you take an apple tree, for instance, there's the trunk of the tree, which draws moisture and food from the ground, but the fruit is far flung and does not grow close to the trunk. It's out there somewhere. So Jesus is telling us that when he's the vine and we're the branches, he's telling us that he's going to be right there with us the whole time. We are not going to produce fruit very far away from him, because he's going to be right with us, helping us to do it. But it means we have to do it. We cannot be barren branches. We must produce fruit for the kingdom of heaven. And that fruit is, of course, keeping his commandments and doing as he taught us, loving God and loving one another as he loved us, treating one another well and not indifferently. Otherwise, we run the risk of being one of those dead branches that gets picked off and thrown out to be burned. We're producing fruit for the kingdom when we are being Jesus in the world, when we are allowing ourselves to be avenues of God's grace to come into the world. We are not bearing fruit if we just become indifferent to the Lord, if we become indifferent to his commands, if we choose to pander in gossip and lies and falsehoods against one another, if we hang on to grudges instead of being forgiving to one another. These are not Christian values. These and so many other sins in the world today are the things that we must watch in ourselves, because if we're not bearing fruit, then we're not much use to the vine. But the vine is there for us, to help us and to nourish us. He tells us that we have already been pruned to bear more fruit because we have heard his word. It is important that we pay attention to the Gospels and to the writings of St. Paul and St. John and St. Peter and so on, so that we can grow in our faith and bear the fruit, the grace of God, into this world, a world that really needs it.